What's going on, Brendan? I hope you're good. What's going on? What's going on, guys? Smash the like button, everybody in the video. Smash the like button, guys. Give that like button a smash. I'd really appreciate if you smash the like button. Let's get those likes up. Let's get those likes up. What's going on, Brendan? The first one, always the first one to comment, majority of the time. What's good? What's good? I'm pretty sure you guys are excited about the fight, Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos. I've done a video on that, so go watch it. Go smash the like button on that. I've also done a video about Floyd and Canelo, breaking down what I took from the debate the other day. Everyone in the stream, if you can smash the like button, I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, I'd really appreciate if you smash that like button. It really helps. Yeah, guys, if you can smash that like button, I appreciate it. Hit the like button. Let me pin this. Hit the like button. Let me pin that. Okay, Brendan. Brendan says, I think Andrade v Charlo should be pushed more and more every day. I just don't see Andrade ever beating Canelo. Yeah, you're probably right. Hey, man, good videos. I know about boxing as well. Maybe one day I will have the chance to join your debates. You can join at any time, bro. Anytime. Anytime you want to come on, you just let me know, bro, and you can come on 100%. Anyone can just come on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna answer your guys' questions first, and then I'm gonna put the link in there, and anyone can come on. If you want to come on right away, just let me know, and I'll put the link in, and you can come on. But yeah, everyone in the stream, I appreciate you being here. Smash the like button. Help the more likes, the more viewers. It really helps the stream. It really helps the stream being better. So yeah, guys, man. Eddie Hearn in an interview today said that the Canelo Alvarez fight is not there for Andrade. Andrade and Charlo is the fight he's looking to make, and he's petitioned to the WBC. Hopefully that fight happens. Hopefully we can get that fight. I really want to see that fight next. I'm not holding my breath. I don't think it'll happen, but hopefully we can. Hopefully we can see that fight of that magnitude happen, because boxing. The thing is, with boxing, we're not getting the big fights. You know, the thing is with a sport like UFC, they get the fights that they want. When the demand is building for a fight, Dana White doesn't let the fans wait. They just makes the fight. Unfortunately, in boxing, that's not the case. You know, in boxing fans have to wait and wait and wait and wait, and it's not great. You know, it's not great at all. Not great whatsoever, and it's disappointing because, to me, I personally think Devin says Charlo. That's if he doesn't fight Andrade, take his belts. Yeah, Charlo. That's if he doesn't fight Andrade, take his belts. Yeah, let's see. That's a good fight, man. That's a good fight. I like that fight. Personally, I favor Andrade in that fight, but it's a good fight, man. It's a good fight, no doubt about it. Let me get the live stream up and running. There's the link if anyone wants to jump on. Get the questions in, guys, and smash the like button, guys. Get your questions in and smash the like button. Get your questions in, guys, and smash that like button. As I always say, smash that like button. Okay, Devin says, either Charlo signs the contract to fight Andrade off his belts or gone. Simple as that. Charlo will sign the contract if they threaten to take his belt. Yeah, that's what I hope. I hope the WBC force that fight. If the WBC force that fight, then he has no choice unless he vacates. And then if obviously, he vacates, and his credibility will be, hit massively. So, hopefully they do petition that fight, and hopefully the fight does get made, because like I said, I really want to see that fight. I think it's a great fight for boxing. And I think it's a fight that needs to happen, really, when you think about it. It needs to happen for boxing, for the good of boxing. That fight needs to happen. That's just the way I'm looking at it. I hope they do that fight. I hope they do that fight. But let's see if it comes off. Boxing hasn't always been kind to us delivering the fights that we want to see. But hopefully they will deliver this one, and hopefully the governing bodies do what's right for the sport of boxing, which is delivering this big fight. I really hope they do. I really hope they deliver it. Get your questions in, guys. Get your questions in and smash the like button, guys. Everyone in the stream, if you can get your questions in and smash the like button, I really appreciate it. Let's get those questions in, guys. Let's get those questions in. Let's get those questions in, guys. I'm waiting for your questions. Waiting for your questions, guys. Let's get those questions in. Let's get those questions in, guys. So yeah, Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos tomorrow, which is a good fight. I'm picking Lopez to win that fight. I don't know what you guys think. I don't know what you guys think of that fight and how you see that fight going. But yeah, I personally picking Lopez in that one. I think Lopez is a very good fighter, very explosive fighter. Then I'd love to see him fight Devin Haney after that. That'd be a great fight, him against Devin Haney. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what happens with Lopez and Kambosos tomorrow. Let's hope we get a great fight. Let's hope we get a fight which is great for the fans. Smash the like button, guys. Smash the like button. Let me know. Get your questions in. Get your questions in. I'm waiting for your questions, man. I'm waiting for your questions. I'm waiting for your questions, guys. Let's get those questions in. Let's get your questions in, guys. And hit the like button, of course. Everyone in the stream, if you can hit the like button, I'd appreciate it. It's a bit slow today. Where is everyone at? Where is everyone at? It's a bit slow. Everyone, where are you at? Where are you at? Rock Venture says, when are we going to hold the same standard to the Beterbiev, Bivol, Andrade, and Charlos? Benavidez, why don't they fight each other instead of waiting for Canelo's stimulus check? Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Very good point. I don't know. But I guess they ain't the pound for pound number one. So that's why I think someone made that point that Canelo gets hold to a different standard because he's the pound for pound number one. It's Black Friday. They are out shopping. Yeah. The fight spirit. I think you've got a good point there. Jose Ruiz says Lopez at 135 IBF. Then I'll at Madison Square Garden DAZN Lopez win by TKO. Yeah, I think Lopez wins by TKO. IK says Canelo would lose but should still fight Usyk at cruiserweight. That'd be a very, very good fight. That would be Canelo daring to be great, which I don't know. Some people may say that's crazy for him to do that. But that still would be Canelo would show that he's got, a big cojones to fight someone like Andrade. So I mean, sorry, not Andrade, Usyk. So yeah, I'd love to see that fight. Get your hello, the True King. What's going on, the True King? I hope you're well. Eddie Reynoso has said that he is extremely interested in making GG Canelo 3 after GGG KO's Murata. So what will that fight happen at middleweight or super middleweight? Because surely Canelo can't fight at middleweight, so it's gonna have to be at super middle, right? Is he gonna fight at super middle? Is that gonna be the fight? Super middle. Oh yeah, Eddie said he want Canelo GGG in Mexico. Good fight. Good fight. That's a great fight. You know what? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Canelo GGG in Mexico, actually. Canelo Alvarez could fight Gennady Golovkin in Mexico. That's a great fight, by the way. I would love to see that. I would love to see that because that would be epic stuff. Golovkin in Mexico. That would be epic. That would be great if that comes off, that would be great. Imran, everyone is sleeping on Pitbull Cruz saying Tank is cherry picking him. But man, Pitbull is the real deal. This is a 50-50 fight. Trust me. A lot of people are saying what you're saying, but I think Tank right now is a special fighter. I do. I think he's a special fighter, and I personally think that he will win. I think he will beat Cruz, but Cruz might be tough. Don't get me wrong. Cruz might be a tough dude. He may be a tough dude without question, but I still favor Tank massively in that fight. So I think someone gets stopped in that Canelo trilogy. Really? You think Canelo could get stopped? Wow. Or are you saying that Golovkin gets stopped? I don't know. What do you think? I think that's a great fight. Regardless, I think their styles gel, and I think whatever the outcome, I think their styles will always gel, and it always lead to a great fight. To be honest with you, that's just what I think. I think it'll always be good fights. I like Pitbull Cruz, but he gets killed by Tank. Says best alive. Irving Salah says all the dudes from 160, 160, 75 are lazy. When Floyd and Oscar were cash cows, the other fighters were still fighting each other. They didn't wait for them. Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Unfortunately, those guys, they're not willing to put in that work. They're not willing to put in that work. They just want that Canelo payday. Andrade seems frustrated, but then having said that, like someone like Demetrius Andrade, he wants to fight Charlo, but now if Charlo doesn't want to fight, him, it's not much he can do. There's not much he can do, to be honest. Okay, let me sort this out, and then we'll sort this out. Yeah, so there's not much he can do, to be honest with you. There's not a lot. So let's answer these. Tank will KO that little guy. Let's be real. Tank ain't fighting Tio Haney, Loma, or Josh Taylor until Tank is cherry picking. Yeah, to be honest with you, I've got to agree with you there, man. I've got to agree with you there. I don't think Tank is fighting the best. He's not fighting the best guys. He's not fighting the top competition. They're kind of like using him to build him into a cash cow, but he's not really fighting the top guys. I want to see Tank fight the top guys, to be honest. I want to see Tank in there with the best guys. And unfortunately, we're not getting that at the minute. We're not getting those big fights that we want from Tank, And that's just unfortunate. We expect more from Tank. I expect more from Tank because I think he's a great fighter, and I think he should be fighting the best. I think he should be fighting the best. Unfortunately, he's not doing that at the minute. He's not doing that at all. So we need to see Tank fight, the best. That's what I want to see Tank do. I want to see him fight the best. And unfortunately, Tank's not doing that at the minute. But hopefully, Tank steps up. Guys, everyone in the live stream, smash the like button, guys. I really appreciate if you smash the like button. Let's get those likes up, guys. Smash the like button for me, guys. So let's answer some of your questions. Okay, so I could see Canelo stopping GGG. Irvin Salas says all these dudes. So Devin says Tank will KO that small guy. Best Knob Alive says power is the last thing to go. So GGG always has the chance to KO Canelo, but not likely, but possible. Okay. Rock Venture says, I think he is more likely to GGG gets knocked out, but we have to see his performance against Murata. Yeah, I agree. We have to see how he performs against Murata. I could see Canelo stopping GGG to the body. Yeah, potentially, 100%. Best Knob Alive says, Tank could give us spectacular fights if he just fought any of the top 3 guys in the division he fights in. Yeah, he's not. Unfortunately, he's not doing that. Let's be brutally honest. He's not fighting the best in that division. And that's just the truth. He's not fighting the best in those divisions. He's kind of like fighting guys that are, not so top tier. Everyone in the live stream, if you can smash the like button, guys, I really appreciate it. Eric Tellez says, "Man, I'll be here after December when you all get shocked by Pitbull. Mark my words." Let's see. Devin says, "The problem I see is Tank is that I believe he's a very talented young fighter. I don't understand why he doesn't fight anyone good. It's a real shame." I don't know. Where is it? The fact that, the promotional company wants him to fight people in-house? I don't know. Rock Venture says, "Tank just want to be fighting PBC isolated island. He is not fighting as young as Ryan, Teofimo, and Haney. He's already 28 years of age, and hasn't really. Is he 28? Is Tank 28? Let me have a look. I'm pretty sure he's not 28. Tank's not 28. See? He's 27. Wow. Time flies, man. He's 27 years of age. Wow. So he's getting on a little bit. Yeah, you're right. If Canelo v GGG happens in Mexico, I would definitely see it in person. Would you go to that fight? What a fight that would be. What a fight to be at. Wow. That would be an unbelievable fight to be at. Let's be real. Slime Bell says, "GGG hasn't been the same since that first Canelo fight." Well, he's been fairly inactive. He's been fairly inactive, hasn't he? He's been fairly, very, very inactive. So, yeah, I'd agree with that. What's your take on Tio's situation? The WBC are calling his fight tomorrow as undisputed. I don't see Lopez as undisputed. Why? I personally think he's undisputed. I think he's, he beat Lomachenko, who's the guy that got elevated to a franchise champion. But like I said, I think to clear all that mess up, I think he should fight. Devin Haney just to clear it all up, just so we can get that fight. It's a good fight as well. So, maybe you should just fight him just to clear all that mess up. Slime Bell says, "Canelo probably hurts him this time round." Yeah, there's a chance that he can knock him out, but I don't know. Golovkin is so tough. It's ridiculous. Devin says, "Facts. GGG looked much worse since the Canelo second fight. He's been on the downfall in his career." He may get up for that fight, though. He may get up for that fight. And you may see the best last of Golovkin. Lopez is definitely undisputed. Stop the cap. Laugh my ass off, says Slimeball. Hey, Imran, how's it going? Hope you're well, brother. Yeah, I am well, H. I hope you're good at your end. Smash the like button, guys. Everyone in the stream, if you can smash the like button, I'd really appreciate it. Tio is undisputed, but Devin Haney is a very good young fighter, and politics allowed him to gain a real world title without having to beat a champion. You know what? That's true, man. He didn't really fight anybody for that belt, and he got it kind of emoed. I'm not impressed by that, to be honest. I don't really look at him as a champion, but he's in his position. He is where he's at. Robert Harrison's Canelo v Wilder. Who wins? Oh man, Wilder, man. He's too big. He's 6'7". I'm also not sure if GGG has another Canelo fight left in the tank. Those two fights were hell, and GGG is older. Yeah, you got a good point. So not sure if GGG has another Canelo fight left. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing it in Mexico. I think that would be a great fight because GGG is loved by a lot of Mexicans as well. Brendan Jackson, I would watch Canelo v GGG 3 for sure. We'd all watch it. It's a great fight. Tio should be undisputed. Yeah, he should be. Yeah, he should be. He should be getting that tag. The president of the WBC has made it clear Tio undisputed too many times for fanboys to still be. Yeah, he's undisputed in my opinion. But obviously, to clear that situation up, just fight Devin Haney. That's the way I look at it. I think Tio beats Devin Haney as well. If I'm totally brutally honest with you, I think he's got more to his game. If I'm honest. But yeah, guys in the live stream, if you can smash the like button, I really appreciate it. Let's get those likes up and smash that like button, guys. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's keep going. Slime Bell says, Canelo was fighting GGG at Tank current age. that rig there shows how protected Tank's career has been. It's unfortunate because he's a superstar. He could definitely beat most of the top guys. Yeah, I'd agree. You know, we want to see Tank in there with the best. We need to see him in there with the best. Slime Bell says Floyd is holding him back. Yeah, you know, I think they want him to fight his own people, from the company, but he needs to step up, in my opinion. Canelo looked good beating up Zarameta, but I think you mean Golovkin looked good beating up Zarameta, but I think he'll do even better with Murata. Yeah, let's see. The Andrade only holding his belt for Canelo payday. Look, Canelo, I'm a champion, not really wanting to fight at 168 or 175. Okay, Canelo took 3G's heart in the second fight. Yeah, you know that he backed him up in that fight. Imran's undisputed. Thank you, Robert Harrison. What do you mean by that? Okay, so Wilder would destroy Canelo, bro. Lol. Lol. 168 v 240. Come on, man. Weight classes for a reason. Yeah, that's silly. Why Wilder wouldn't be able to keep Canelo from going to the body? Yeah, but could Canelo hurt Wilder? I don't know, man. Like big Tyson Fury was landing big bombs on Wilder, and Wilder was eating them, man. So yeah, that's a dangerous fight, man. Because if Wilder was to hit Canelo once, that's it. It's game over. A realistic fight for Canelo at heavyweight would be Ruiz Jr. probably. Ruiz Jr. is too big, man. He's massive. Wilder is a whole foot taller than Canelo, man. Yeah, he is. He's a whole foot taller, and he's long. Best Knob Alive says, in my opinion, TOKO's Haney should be a good fight, though. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Brendan Jackson says, Haney v Tio will be a close fight, but Tio has too much power, I think. Yep. Who has a stronger punch, Canelo or Wilder? Could Canelo take Wilder's punch? Like, no. No, he couldn't. And obviously, Wilder has a stronger punch. Tank, even that big of a star, PBC wants to keep everything in-house to not give paydays, but none of the fighters are big stars. Yeah, but to be honest with you, I don't think Tank's that big a star. He's a big star, but not as big as what people make out. Callum Smith v Canelo at 175, guys. Would you want to see it? No, I don't. I don't want to see that. Not at all. That's why I said Body Wilder would probably just windmill through his guard. Haha. Yeah, that would be a crazy fight, man. You know, but in boxing nowadays, you can never say never. Guys, guys, can you smash the like button in the live stream? I'd really appreciate if you smash the like button. Let's get those likes up, man. There's 12 likes and there's almost 30 people in the house. So let's get those. Let's smash the like button, guys. Canelo bodied Callum 120, 108. Yeah, that wasn't a fight. Bro, even the jaw of GGG, who's never been dropped or stunned, would get straight KO'd by Wilder. There's weight classes for a reason. Yeah, I'd agree with that. What if Canelo goes up to bridgerweight instead of heavy? Would that be good? It depends on who's at bridgerweight. If Canelo actually did fight Wilder, that pay-per-view would get like 1.5 million, probably more, to be honest. Probably more. That'd be huge. Imagine that. That'd be massive. Imagine if Canelo fought Joshua in the UK or something. Like, imagine how big that would be. Imagine how big it would be if Canelo fought Wilder. That'd be massive, man. Massive. And Joshua. Canelo bodied Callum 120, 188. What if Canelo goes up to bridgerweight instead of heavy? Would that be good? Not really, because like I said, it depends who's there. Okay. Canelo v Wilder at bridgerweight for 7 division champ. Nah, it would be 6 division, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be 7 division. It'd be 6 division. The Canelo Wilder fight is going to be a real interesting after Canelo v Makabu takes place. Yeah, that'd be, Wilder would get paid a bomb for that. And to be honest, he'll be a massive favorite because Wilder's big. But I don't know why we're even talking about that. I don't think that's realistic. I don't think Canelo's going to go up and fight Wilder. No chance. I really want to see an English dust-up Felix Katz v Eubank. Eubank was scheduled to fight Liam Williams, but that fight fell through. I don't know what's gone on there. Yeah, Felix Cash is a good fight. I just don't think that's a big enough name yet for Eubank. I don't think he'd be interested in that fight. Best Knob Alive says, is the Bridgerweight champ technically undisputed? I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I don't know. I've not really been following Bridgerweight like that, to be honest. I don't know who's there. Is Canelo fighting Makabu, or Makabu will fight his man? No, Canelo's fighting Makabu, I'm pretty sure. I think he'll fight him next. Why do I want to see Wilder v Canelo now? I don't know, man. I think that's stupid fight personally, but I feel Canelo already better than Mayweather, more accomplishments. Possibly. Like I said, it's tough to say because Canelo, I mean, Mayweather's great as well. I just want to see how good Canelo's chin is. Yeah, but nah, man, that's dangerous. That is dangerous. Slime Bell says Canelo greater than Mayweather. Canelo greater than Mayweather? What does that mean? Williams fight fell through. Um, Williams fight fell through. Yes, indeed. Imran, huge but if Canelo beats Usyk at cruiser, would we be one of the best ever top 10? Yeah. That's a big if though. Big if him beating Usyk. It's a stupid fight now. Yeah, it is a stupid fight, to be honest. Maybe at a 205-pound catch weight. Yeah, but Wilder probably can't do 205 pounds. How about Wilder v Canelo, but an MMA fight, not boxing? That's just crazy now. Now we're talking wild here. We're talking wild. We're talking wild stuff now. Talking wild stuff. Let's get those questions in, guys, and smash the like button. Everyone in the stream, if you can smash the like button, I'd really appreciate it. Let's smash the like button. Okay. Canelo is a certified GOAT if he beats Usyk. Yeah, without question. That would be crazy. Insanity. TOV Tank at 135. TOV Tank at Tio. I favor Tio of all of those guys. I just think he's got a little bit more. Let me invite anyone wants to come on. It's been really quiet today for some reason. I don't know what's going on. It's been really, really quiet, Tank probably beats Tio. Yeah, most likely. Most likely does, yeah. Android would school Charlo. Imran, have you ever done a video talking more about yourself, like how you got into boxing, any amateur experience? Not really. Like I got into boxing, like I used to talk to Tony McKenzie, who was a British champion. And to be honest, I got into boxing I got into boxing a long time ago, man. A long, long time ago. Probably since watching Khan coming through, and that's how I got into boxing, really. And after that, I just became a huge boxing fan. So I have done a video about that. Who was it asked to get that again? Okay, so Android would school Charlo. Yeah, most likely. Most likely would. Most likely would. Liam Williams beats Eubank, says Robert Harrison. I'm not sure. How's it going, man? You good? How's it going, Brendan? You all right? Triple G, bigger than most Mexican fighters. He's a great. Hey.
Yeah. What's up, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just enjoying the weekend. How about yourself?
Yeah, same, man. Same. Just chilling, relaxing.
Oh yeah, man. You ready for the fights this weekend?
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to Cambosos Lopez, man.
Yeah. I wonder if Cambosos is gonna give us a show. If he's gonna try to not be made like an example out of. If he's gonna actually, surprise us or something like that.
Yeah, I hope so.
I feel like within reason, I feel like Tio is gonna knock him out, but I feel like Cambosos is a hard worker because I've been watching his training footage and everything, and it looks like he's really, really preparing physically and mentally for it. But he's probably gonna come up short. But I'm ready to see his effort.
Definitely. I'm ready to see his effort as well. I hope he puts in a good performance.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely.
You
But
know, because we want to see a good competitive fight.
oh yeah, for sure. I hate to bounce around already, but back to like talking about Demetrius Andrade. Who do you
Mm.
think would win if he fought against Charlo? I think that's a more even fight. I think that I believe that's a more even fight compared to like fighting a Canelo.
Yeah, yeah. I favor Andrade in that fight, but it's a good one. It's hard to kind of say, isn't it? Because like both guys haven't really been tested.
I agree. I
So
feel like
I'd like to see.
I feel like that if you look at their toughest fights, that yeah, their last not their last fights because Andre fought Quigley, but whenever he fought Williams, if you compare that to how Charlo was handling Montiel, I
Mm.
think that I do believe that Andrade could probably outbox Charlo. Charlo
Mm.
was Grant, if you look at one of the like they both were doing the same things in their last fights that was getting them touched up in or
Mm.
whatever. But uh one of the things that Andrade would at least try to do, granted he's not the most balanced when he's moving around and such, but he still will like utilize his legs and try to move around the ring and basically use his typical slick boxing style or whatever, quote unquote, around slick because he
Mm.
does get touched.
Mm.
He did get his last fight though, but he needs to step it up. But at least he wants to fight the champions though. I'll never take that credit away from him, but and he needs to start like, making the proper moves need to start being made for these fights. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people put way too much value on just call outs. Like just verbally calling out rather than taking the necessary step or fighting who you need to fight. Like I say, if you wanted to fight Canelo, like it's right there. All you have to do is just move up, and he'll be a mandatory. Uh, Granted, though, we do have Canelo going to cruiserweight right now, so he's
Mm.
on his, he's on his own little destiny. But he just needs to get. I just want to see him in fights. I just want to see him in bigger fights with the other champions. I feel like it's just around that time at this point. You know.
Yeah.
No more Quigley's, no more Williams, no more whoever he's fought. It's like go ahead and start fighting the champion. And who's ever managing Jamal Charlo or whatever, because I know especially with that fight, Jamal Charlo and Andrade, yeah, Charlo he hasn't he's been running. He's been running. Like he's been running and it's sad. Like I've been saying that they need to like literally force that fight for like months now. Like that's the conclusion that I came to because they're not going to do nothing but benefit from a fight with each other. Like especially if they're looking at fighting somebody like Canelo, even getting ready for somebody like Triple G. Like granted, yeah, he is older, but he has experience. He has a lot of experience, and like well, I won't say a lot because champions did like avoid him, but he has more championship level experience. And it will be the same song and dance if they go in there with no real adversity against like a real type of fighter, so, like themselves or somebody above them. And if they never face that type of adversity, they'll just end up just another name that got knocked out by Canelo or Triple G. That's how I feel.
Mm. Do you think Charlo could beat? I mean, Charlo and Andre can beat Triple G.
I don't know. Based off of their like last two fights, I don't know. I don't know. I favor
Mm.
Triple G in both of those fights. I favor both of them just because of his punching power and his defense. He has better punching power and better defense. Might not move around as well,
Mm.
and yeah, I see Triple G taking that. I see Triple G taking that. Too much punching power, too much experience, like just too much experience.
Mm. Maybe I can do a video breaking down with you about Triple G and thing breaking down Triple G and Charlo and Andrade fights.
Oh, for sure. That's why I'm ready to see how Triple G is gonna do against Murata. But if he looks like, yeah, he didn't look the best against what was his name? All Charlo fought. Derenchenko. Yeah, Sergey Derenchenko. Like that was a fight where, yeah, we saw Triple G get touched up, and it was kind of similar to that fight was kind of similar to Errol Spence versus Sean Porter. How with Porter being Derenchenko and Spence being Triple G, a rough analogy, mainly because of Porter made it a hard fight, Derenchenko made it a hard fight, and it seemed like the action, or not the action, but the results of the fight separated by the knockdown.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's why I say I don't doubt Triple G at all. I feel like, yeah, he had a little bump, a little comeback fight. Then he came back again and, getting back into it with Sarah Meta. He looked, of course, better. Granted, it was a different competition. But if he does better, if he looks even better against Murata, another champion, my faith in Triple G is just going to be that much stronger, pretty much. I think there's somebody else here, too. What's up, man?
What's going on, Nelson?
How you doing, Imran?
Good, man. Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How was your day? How was your holidays yesterday?
Yeah, it was all right, man. It was all right. Good. Just tired now,
Relaxing.
man. Talk some
Yeah.
boxing. Talk some boxing. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to ask you, what do you think? What do you think about Canelo v Golovkin in Mexico?
It sounds interesting. I don't think it's going to happen because I don't think Triple G is going to want to go to Mexico and take on Canelo there. It's either a Las Vegas fight or a Texas fight. It'll be more attracting in one of those venues.
Why?
Why don't you think he'd go to Mexico?
This it's just I just don't see it. I think it makes a lot more sense in, like I said, Vegas, Texas. It's just
Mm,
my opinion, but it's still attractive. I mean, it sounds good, but I think if Canelo's gonna take a fight in Mexico, it'll be with somebody a little bit uh less threatening. Because he doesn't want the division. You gotta understand, Mexico's got a lot of Triple G fans, and that can
mm,
hurt his popularity over there.
mm,
It's hard as it is, the way it is with him right now. So I'm guessing he wants to pick a fighter that is not going to divide the country. Will be with a fighter that will be just for their hometown guy.
mm. But Eddie Reynoso said that he's looking at that fight.
Yeah,
Eddie
I'm
Reynoso
sure
said that.
I'm sure he's interested in it. I mean, it's a lot of money to be made in it. It's a 700,000 plus view fight, so it's going to generate money. But
Mm,
I don't think he would like to do it in Mexico because of all the drama behind their saga. So it brings a lot of division and between the fans, and I'm sure if they're gonna do a fight for Canelo in Mexico, it would be more towards his, like a homecoming for him, so he can get back together with the people. It won't be no division,
mm.
just to do a show.
Do you think it does huge pay-per-view numbers?
Yeah, it does because their styles. When you look at both of them, they're actually very similar. That's why their style mashes up very well.
Mm,
Triple G being uh, the more stronger version of that style, while Canelo's the more versatile version of that style. You know,
mm,
that's why they match up so nice together. Plus, a lot of fans don't know that these guys they go back way back before they even got on the scene. Canelo was one of Triple G's first sparring partners at Big Bear. You know,
mm,
uh, that's the reason why all the animosity between them because Triple G knows Canelo since he was a teenager.
mm,
And he found it kind of disrespectful that him knowing him, he would, come on TV and say he cheated, and when the kids fought him like 50 rounds when he was back like 20 years old, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's a fight that it's got a lot of drama behind it, and I don't think they want to bring that energy with them to Mexico. They want to, when they go to Mexico, I'm sure they're going to try to make it where Canelo's able to come together more with with his hometown fans. It won't be such a dividing fight.
Yeah, you're probably right, to be honest. But I would love to I would love to see that in Mexico because I reckon it'd give Canelo an opportunity to fight such a huge fight in front of his fans. But yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I'd love to see it though.
Yeah, it's still going to bring whoever he fights in Mexico is gonna bring in 100,000 fans. I mean, in the stadium, and they're going to sell. But it has to be more of an event. Because it's about trying to reunite Canelo with his, with the fans. Because there is a lot of division with him over there. So it might
Mm,
be a card that
Question.
they might do with a lot of the old fighters have an exhibition underneath it. They might decide to make it just this big event where it just even the legends are on that. You know.
Wouldn't it
mhm.
be better for Triple G's legacy if he possibly beat Canelo in Mexico?
But that's another reason why it wouldn't be a smart. I think we got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with us in the in the chat.
I
Yeah,
ain't gonna lie,
Miguel.
man. It sounds like somebody shaking something by the mic. I don't know if I'm the only one hearing it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
I think
yeah. Somebody's getting ready for Christmas.
Yeah,
Um,
sound like a
Miguel.
rattlesnake or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's definitely Miguel. I think Miguel's shaking something.
yeah, getting it's the
Now he's
Christmas
gone
tree.
off.
He's having trouble getting the Christmas tree in the house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
buddy.
that's another reason why would he put Triple G in a position,
Mm,
which has always been kind of the gimmick behind Triple G. It was about stealing Canelo's thunder. Why would
mhm,
Canelo put him in a position where you know
Because
he
he's
would be?
weird,
Yeah,
but
doesn't make any sense. It's not a smart
Shira-
decision.
Shiraz Ahmed says one day Canelo will go to heavyweight and fight Tyson Fury.
that's
Nah,
insane.
that's not gonna happen.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's.
No, that is
Do you see
ridiculous.
Canelo fighting like a Joshua or Usyk, Nelson?
No, of course not. That is too dangerous. It's too dangerous, and that'd be that is it's kind of ridiculous a little bit. I think this is him going up in weight right now to cruiserweight. I really believe it's more of him taking a break of having to make break cuts.
Mm,
Having to take so many weight cuts, and at the same time, it's gonna be if everything is a tough fight now. So why not make it a little bit more interesting? And I
mm,
think it gets them into the because what a lot of people don't understand about young fighters is they start getting bored. Eventually,
mm,
they reach a time where it starts getting boring for them, and they need little things to keep making them interesting for them. So I
mm,
think the cruiserweight it keeps them still interested, and it still keeps them to the gym, and because I mean, when you at that peak, it's he's kind of trying to make a symbol about wearing silk pajamas to the weigh-in.
mhm,
From that old Hagler quote of "It's kind of hard to wake up and go jogging at 4 in the morning when you're sleeping in silk pajamas."
mhm,
So I think he's kind of like trying to send a message by wearing silk pajamas, but eventually it gets hard to do because you start reaching that financial level where you need other things to interest you. So the cruiserweight, I think Eddie knows how to keep them interested. How to keep them in the gym because Benavides is just another taller version of a Triple G. He's already been through this already. The tough guy, the bully, the big. He's already been through this. It gets boring after a while. So you need to keep
mhm,
these fighters interested and motivated. Because if not, they won't show up at the gym, man. You know, which I believe it was what caused it. Which I believe is what caused that situation between him and Plant to kind of escalate a little bit. Because Canelo feels like, I've already done this so much. This is kind of boring, and on top of that, this guy's agitating me. Is agitating enough? I gotta face this guy. I don't find no real reason to, and you kind of start searching for a reason to kind of go to the gym and take a fight seriously. You know.
Yeah, I'd agree. I want to bring Steven in. Steven, what's going on?
What's cracking, brother? How you doing, Imran?
All good, man. All good. Do you hear in the news then the latest news about firstly, what do you make of like the Lopez Cambosos fight, and what do you make of Canelo v Golovkin in Mexico?
Well, man, I can't wait for this fight tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
I can't hardly wait. But so Canelo's supposed to be fighting Triple G in Mexico.
Yeah, that's what basically Eddie Reynoso said, that they're interested in that fight in Mexico.
That's you know what that's a tough fight for Triple G at this stage because
Yeah.
Canelo he has so much steam. You know what I'm saying? He's only optimizing his fighting abilities, and he's almost invincible at that weight class, at that weight level. So I don't know if that's a gamble Triple G wants to take, because you don't want to lose to a guy virtually 3 times. Arguably, 3 times. A lot of people say that that draw was in favor. I mean, Canelo should have won. So you don't want to take a chance with that, man. I don't want to be the guy who lost to a dude 2 times, kind of like with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. That's a blemish on your record that you don't want.
What do you?
I still think I still would say this. Triple G, we don't know what he's doing behind the scenes. That's one. And number two, he's already used to Canelo, so his style is always going to be a little problematic. So it's not going to be a walking apart for Canelo, no, by any means, because he's familiar with him, and even though he's up in age, he's still conserved. He's a guy that conserves his body, so I'm sure he'll still be a notable fight. It's not going to be that easy for him. So even though he has the high chance of winning,
I just feel like Canelo at this point. I mean, he's almost he's becoming a weight bully at that weight, and I think that I just don't think Triple G
more of a skill bully. More of a skill bully, because I mean, his size it just doesn't allow him to be a weight bully. It's just he is so used to fighting bigger guys, his style's already fitted for that. So it seems like he's actually bullying around the guys, but it's not a weight bully by no means.
What do you?
Yeah, I'm. I agree with you. Go ahead, Imran. Sorry.
No, what were you gonna say? I was gonna ask you a question.
No, I was just gonna say real quick that
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say real quick that Canelo, I feel like it may be an issue to where Canelo is just in conjunction with that, what Nelson was saying, he's too skilled, plus he's blocky, and he's rugged, and he's so durable. I don't see it going like it. That was a younger version of Canelo that fought Triple G to the tooth and nail. But I don't see it happening right now.
Stephen, you're getting asked a question. You're getting asked a question about Tank v Isaac Cruz. A lot of people seem to think Isaac Cruz could beat Tank. What do you make of it?
Nah, Tank a for real killer, man. I will be shocked. I'll be shocked. You might have to send, you might have to send me to the mental hospital if he was beat him. The Tank is a for real deal killer, man. He ain't just the run of the mill. I think Tank at that weight class, between 135, 140. I think he top tier, dude. Um,
Mm.
so I don't see it happening. I really don't.
But you're frustrated with Tank not fighting the top competition, aren't you, Stephen?
Oh yeah, I've been saying that, what I'm saying. I think that, all those guys, and my hat, hats off to Teofimo. Let's see what he do with George Cambosa, because George Cambosa, he ain't no joke, but I much rather see Teofimo in there with the likes of a Tank Davis or someone else. And they need to start mixing it up at that weight class too. We always talk about the guys at the middleweight, but these guys at lightweight, they need to start mixing it up too.
Yeah, they do really. Tank needs to fight the top. He needs to fight the top guys, man. He's
Yeah,
not
he
doing that
do.
at the minute.
I tell you
Yeah,
something about this kid he's gonna face now. He reminds me a lot of a Salido. He's that little guy. He might seem like Tank's gonna walk over him, but I will not be surprised if he winds up being a little bit tougher than many people expect. Because that kid's hungry. You know, so it all depends on
not too many guys,
how his training's going.
not too many guys gonna fight Tank, man, and outskill. You know what I'm saying? You one thing is that's not talked about with Tank. Everybody seems to talk about his power and his strength. But one thing people ain't taking into consideration, that dude, he's very skilled, man. He's a very skilled, very knowledgeable boxer, man. I don't, I
But
just be
Cruz,
I go ahead.
I see something in that kid. I don't know. Something's telling me. I've watched a few. The kid's hungry, and that kind of hunger. I'm telling you, he's got a little bit of that Solido in him. And y'all seen how Solido came out of nowhere and started, even with the guy that Tefino beat on, Loma. Tefino Solido was a very tough matchup, and I see that a lot of that same style in Cruz. So I would not be surprised if that kid winds up being a much tougher challenge than what Tankins expecting. You know,
What you think,
because I think
man? What do you think?
About what Tank and Cruz? Yeah, I think Tank will stop him. To be honest with you, Tank's a monster. But again, a lot of people seem to think I haven't seen a lot of Isaac Cruz. I've seen a little bit, but not a lot of him. But there are a lot of people saying that they saw his fights. I've watched a few highlights. He does look tough and hungry, like Nelson said. But I don't know, man. Tank. It's hard to go against Tank right now.
he's a and people undermine those that kind. It's Tank's been fighting a little bit taller kind of guys.
Hmm.
The other, and I believe this guy can probably give Tank a little bit more trouble because it's usually when you get in there with a guy that's a little bit smaller than you, it can be little bit faster and can mess up with Tank's timing. So who
Hmm.
knows? I'm just my thing is I think he winds up being a little bit tougher than what people are expecting.
Yeah, possibly, most likely, actually. Yeah, there's a good chance. To
I
be
still
fair, of
think he
that.
gets stopped, though.
Yeah, I think so. You know what, Stephen?
Go ahead. Hmm.
You missed the debate. Me, Nelson, we were all going back. Me, Nelson, and Mike, we were all in, and we were going back and forth about Mayweather and Canelo. And who's greater? Is Canelo the greater fighter? Um, and you missed the debate. Now, Yemi Bapatunde has basically left me a message saying my dream fights for Floyd when he was fighting were him v Naz at featherweight, him v Sergio Martinez at middleweight, him v Paul Williams at middleweight, him v Golovkin at middleweight, him v Marco Antonio Barrera at featherweight, him v Eric Morales at featherweight, him v Terence Crawford at welterweight, him v Errol Spence at welterweight, him v Kell Brook at welterweight, him v Amir Khan at welterweight. Um, what do you make of Floyd's legacy? And do you think Canelo can be a greater fighter than Floyd? Or do you think Floyd was the man? You know what I mean?
I think it depends on how you measure it. Now, in terms of transcending the sport and just having sheer star power, I think Floyd has the upper hand on that opposition. I still have to at this point, I reluctantly favored Floyd over, but if if Canelo keeps doing what he's doing now, he'll surpass him as far as his legacy, as far as his boxing legacy is concerned. I don't know that I don't think he has the star power that's global like Floyd. But that's not really a measurement of what we talking about. If we talking about just who had the tougher fights, who went and did their thing. I think that Canelo he has the momentum, and give or take a couple more fights and some of the things he's able to do. Hell, I like Canelo, man. I like Canelo. I like Canelo. Skill wise, I think Floyd is probably one of the best we've ever seen. I think you would
Yeah,
agree with
I'd
me on
agree.
that.
I'd agree. Yeah, I don't think Canelo's more skilled than uh, Mayweather. I don't think anyone was. You know what, Stephen? And you may disagree with me as well. That I said the other day that I think Mayweather could beat Sugar Ray Leonard. Like, I think Mayweather was that good, but people love Leonard, but whereas people dislike Floyd. So I think when they're talking about that, I think people are their opinion is not fair. And what I mean by that is I think Leonard was a likable fighter and Floyd was kind of like a hated fighter. And when people kind of, compare the two or talk about a matchup between the two, I think
But
people kind of get their judgment alluded from a guy that was a great fighter in Leonard, who was exciting to watch. But Floyd, although Floyd may have not been as exciting, but Floyd was very difficult to beat and very hard. Floyd found a way to win. He was very effective at winning fights. What do you make of that? Do you think how would you have seen a fight between Floyd and Leonard? And do you think it's beyond possibility that Floyd could have won that fight?
No, it's not at all. I mean, I think if they fall, I think hell, you might have to even favor Floyd.
Mm,
His defense, everything. The thing about Ray Leonard Ray Leonard was strong, and he was very quick, and and he mixed it up. So I don't think that Floyd could have held Ray Leonard off all the way. I think Ray Leonard is. I think he will win possibly on points.
mm.
He may even stop Floyd. You know what I'm saying? But that's I don't know, man. That's kind of tough to kind of gauge. I just think that Floyd, his style is almost kind of it's almost kind of made for somebody like Ray Leonard. What do you say? What y'all think?
Nelson, what do you think?
I don't know whether people. It's not that they dislike Floyd.
Hmm.
I think that his it don't complement his style the way he is.
Hmm.
I think what people really didn't like was his style of boxing.
Hmm.
And
What
I
about
believe
his out
that.
of the ring stuff, Nelson? What about his out of
Well,
the
that's
ring
what I'm
stuff, showing
saying.
the
That's
cash and the brash?
that's what I'm saying. It doesn't complement his style of fighting. You
Right.
understand?
Yeah.
Like if you remember when Mike had that same style, he used to be flashing money and wearing minks and being out and partying and all of that. But Mike had a different style, so people, looked at it differently.
Right.
I don't think that people did not like Floyd personally. I think it was that his style was just not pleasable. And and there was a very small window there where his style was allowed to be implemented, because when his father tried it in that era, had success, but still it wasn't that effective, because it's a style that's mostly made for being very defensive,
Mm.
because it and they like the Ray Leonard, though a agile fighter, also a mover, and took defense, in consideration. He was still an offensive fighter. He would still fight you. He would bang out with you. So they not only liked the Leonard, but his style was also very engaging. So I think it has to do with the style. I don't think Floyd's style would had even been permitted in that time. I've said it before. I think fans would have probably threw cans and bottles in the ring. It was very different back then. So it was
Mm.
it
Because
was accepted.
Ray Leonard,
It was accepted.
Ray Leonard,
It was
he gonna bring it. He gonna bring it to you. And I don't think Floyd. I don't think Floyd could. What I'm saying. I don't think he could hold Ray Leonard off that long. And
yeah.
Ray Leonard, his opposition was his Ray Leonard's his speed alone was a killer. Ray Leonard was he was a true to life, a real deal killer.
Mm.
You know.
His style was everybody's style at that time was a little bit aggressive. It was for a minute there, it was just a small window where Floyd's style was pretty much permitted. You know, it's just and it's hard to beat someone that ain't trying to beat you. You have to understand this. You have a guy that's going in there to win, and you have a guy that's going in there to beat you. So it's two different kind of fights. One's trying to get to the cards and beat you on points. The other one is trying to close the show. So that kind, it's easier for the guy trying to make it to the cards than it is for the guy to try to finish the fight. It's a much complicated uh way of fighting. It was too conservative. Look, it's special and appreciated and all that, but and it was tailor made for his personality, because when you look at a fighter's personality, if he fights out of that personality, it usually goes bad for him. But Floyd's style was perfectly tailor made also for his character and personality. That's why it was so difficult to go against that. He wasn't going out of character. He wasn't going out of character. He's still within himself. He understood his limits. But I believe that if he was fighting in a time where fans would be encouraging him to be a more offensive, he would have been more vulnerable, and like his father, you would have seen a little bit of the same, because great offensively, but I don't think they can absorb punishment as good as they can give it. And usually is the way it is. Like, a fighter that's that agile and that defensive doesn't have the resistance, you know, to put
Mm.
up an offensive onslaught where he puts himself in danger. The best way for me to put this to somebody, in a sense, would be like, okay, you have Canelo in the ring, you have Mayweather in the ring, right?
Mm.
Now I'm gonna put a pair of gloves on you, and you get to choose who you're gonna go in there and fight. Who would
Mm.
you choose to
Mm.
go in there? Right? You're not gonna choose Canelo.
Yeah.
You're gonna choose Mayweather,
Mm.
because one's gonna try to hurt you, and the other one's just gonna give you a lesson. So,
Yeah, you're gonna give you a
um,
lesson.
yeah.
Mm.
So,
To be
that
to be fair, I don't think a normal guy off the street would want to go in with either. You get battered by both.
yeah, but you
Right,
only
right.
can make
Yeah.
one choice. No, that's 100%. He's
Yeah.
gonna battle your brains, but if I had a choice,
Yeah.
I'm not putting my gloves on with Canelo. I'm not doing
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, I'll take my chances with Floyd. The hell with that.
Mm.
was Floyd's was his power underrated?
Yeah, it was. It was. He had power, but power comes also from you investing into it, you being willing to take the risk, because that's when you're most accessible. you know. So I believe Floyd had power, but he understood that in order to generate the kind of power that's necessary to really hurt someone, it also takes away from that timing that he needs to get away. He'll be
Mhm.
in striking distance, and he just didn't chance it. If you looked at him, he was really much of a pot shotting kind of fighter where he throw one and two and move. He wasn't really a combination puncher. He threw them, but very rarely and you know far in between. So
What
the
about Floyd and
the
Pernell?
best defense is to have a low output offense. It's the best defense. So having a very low output of offense will always make you defensively responsible. The
What
lower
what
your
about
offensive. Mhm.
what about Floyd and Pernell, and what about Pernell and Ray Leonard? I want to get both of y'all take.
I like Imran go on that one. Let him
So
take a half at
personally, I think Pernell Whitaker was a genius in terms of that guy was defensively so good. But you know what? Pernell actually was aggressive as well.
Mhm.
That guy is such an underrated fighter, man. That guy was probably one of the best fighters in the history of the sport. He was special,
Hmm.
man. Whitaker. What
Mhm.
was the question? What was the question, Stephen? What were you asking? What about
Well,
Pernell?
I was asking, yeah, I was asking about, what about, Floyd versus Pernell,
Oh, right,
and
okay.
what about Floyd versus what about Pernell versus Ray Leonard?
You
That's
know
a
what?
physical. That's a physical error, and
Yeah.
that physical error was just. I just don't see that style of Floyd, even with a guy like Pernell. I mean, he will have success, but we've never seen Floyd open up offensively like that. And I believe that would have put him at risk. I believe that he would have just been. You know, Pernell, like Imran said, was also a banger. He'll go in there and try to hurt you as well. So
Hmm. And he was a very skilled. He beat Oscar and he got robbed. I thought he beat Oscar in that fight.
yeah, those were close fights with him and Chavez, and Pernell for his size was a lot stronger than what people think. If you look at that man's thighs and his legs, he kind of had that same Pacquiao calves
Yeah,
and
yeah,
those huge thighs. He was built. He was more like Hamed. You remember
yeah,
Prince Hamed
yeah, yeah,
build?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
With
yeah.
those big
Yeah.
legs and gave him the jumping. That pretty much Pernell was built the same way, but he was not as agile. He was more. He would stand there and was willing to exchange, but he didn't know how to move nicely around the ring. He had very sort of movement. He pretty much didn't run around, but he knew how to walk the ring very well. He was very
Mhm.
smart walking around the ring. So
Yeah.
Purnell was very underrated,
Yeah, he was.
Very,
uh,
He
very
got
underrated.
he got a draw with Julio Cesar Chavez, but
as well.
he got a draw with Chavez, and a lot of people thought he won that fight,
Mhm.
and even
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
De La Hoya fight,
Yeah. I think he won that fight too.
and
I
even
think
the
he
yeah,
De
won
La
that
Hoya
fight.
fight was one that he lost, but a lot of people thought he won that as well.
yeah. But
Hmm.
those are
That was
great
when
guys.
De La Hoya. He was, that was the
De La
young De
Hoya
La
was a monster.
Hoya.
De La Hoya was a
He was he
monster as
was he was
well.
he was incredible, man. I miss fighters like De La Hoya, man. I mean, he used to give
Yeah,
us the goods, man. Y'all remember when he had that rivalry, that beef with Fernando, and Fernando was a
yeah.
young killer coming up, and De La Hoya, he reluctantly took that fight and went in there and beat Fernando.
Mhm.
De La Hoya was incredible, man. He was incredible.
Fernando is a great example that a tough guy gets hurt playing with the wrong guys. If Fernando Vargas would have never ran into Trinidad, I think he would have gave Oscar a much tougher fight. But that Trinidad fight, oh man, that was that was that had to be one of the greatest fights I've ever seen. The fight between Fernando
Yeah,
Vargas and Philip Trinidad. If y'all never had an opportunity to see that, that fight was incredible. It was amazing. It was it was a hell of a fight. You actually watched uh, a fighter's career. 50% of it just be wiped off in that one fight. It shows
that was
you
that was
how
that
dangerous.
was a solid fight. That was a solid fight, man, and they set the precedence by, they had real animosity between each other. And I remember Tito's pop telling him, "I want you to beat him," and he slapped him in the face. He said, "I want you to beat him good," and that's what he did. But that was a good one, man. Just thanks for reminding me about that, man. That was a
That was a
good,
classic.
good fight, man.
That's a classic right there. And if it had not been for that, and he serves as an example of why you have to manage fighters' careers well, because these careers are short, and one wrong opponent can just change the trajectory of your career so dramatically. If he had waited maybe 2 or 3 more years, he would have gave a better showing for himself in a fight like that. It was too young, you know.
Yeah, you talking about Fernando?
Correct, Fernando.
Yeah, but but he was a banger, man. He was a killer, man. He didn't, he didn't duck no fade, man. He was, what I'm saying, he was just doing it for the love of the sport, and for honor, man. Fernando
Yeah.
was man. He was a beast in the field too, but Tito, man, Tito he was built he built differently, man. He was built differently, man.
hmm Very, very underrated fighter, and very dangerous at welterweight. I would put him amongst. That's a guy that a lot of people don't bring up with Floyd and welterweight. But if Floyd had fought a Trinidad and welterweight, it would have been career damaging, because
Yeah. What's up, Stephen?
Floyd's style. If a guy's tall, the shoulder roll doesn't work. That shoulder doesn't work. That's why if you ever notice, Floyd always fought guys that were close to him. Guy's tall, the shoulder roll doesn't work. That shoulder doesn't work. That's why if you ever notice, Floyd always fought guys that were close to him. Guy's tall.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah.
Nelson was echoing.
I'm
But hey, Nelson,
with Penny.
with regards
Hey, what's up,
Nelson,
man?
hi Stephen, hi Nelson, hi Imran. But Nelson,
Hi,
with that thing you're saying about Tito, I remember Oscar De La Hoya outboxing that guy, and Tito has always struggled against boxers. Like he struggled against Roy Jones as well, where he got outboxed. So with Floyd, yeah, I can see that, like a tall guy. But the thing is, Tito has to catch him early. But I think if it
Nah,
goes past 6 rounds, I think Floyd outboxes him.
I don't. Oscar did pretty good. His size helped out because people undermine Oscar's a pretty big welterweight for his size. If anything, he's more of a junior middleweight. But if you was to compare, let's say, I think Trinidad beat a guy named Cobra Carl, who was a good boxer out of Detroit as well. I think from Michigan. I would see similar results to that.
Oscar
You
beat him
know,
too, though. Yeah, Oscar
I,
beat Abakar as well. I remember that.
yeah. After Trinidad beat him, what a lot of people don't know is that Trinidad would come and batter them, and then Oscar would have him in second pickings.
Yeah, but
Tito
not
was the
not
old school.
yeah, but
He
not
was such a dangerous fighter. Those are the type of fighters that boxing retires. They don't
yeah, but
retire.
Oscar also beat an undefeated damn, what was that guy from Ghana in 1999? He was the welterweight champion as well.
Corte.
Yeah, Ike Corte. Yeah. And
Correct.
Tito didn't beat him.
No, because that was Trinidad was you had to watch it because you put the wrong guy in. Trinidad will hurt Ike Corte. It was a dangerous. Trinidad was a very very dangerous fighter. I mean, if you got caught with that left hook he had, I
Yeah, true.
mean,
But you
it,
can, yeah, true. But Nelson, you can outbox Trinidad.
but
Yeah,
his
you could
conditioning,
not box him.
his conditioning.
I really
His
saw it happen. The only time I seen it happen was when Roy Jones really basically outboxed him. I think Tito was he was he was the old school Earl Spence. Man, he just had that
Yeah.
power. And he was just so he hurt you. He hurt you. He hurt you when he hit you. He hurt you bad.
to be honest, to be honest with you, he was like a machine. I mean, he was like a robot. If he was not too bright. Um, I would say even borderline autistic to a certain extent, and I don't mean no disrespect by that, but his concentration and ability to focus on a fight was off the charts. You could see the focusness in his face on how he was just gonna not lose. The only time I ever seen him give way was against Winky Wright, and it's because there was actually very good buddies outside the rings, and I think Trinidad need a little bit of anger in order to stimulate that level of ferociousness and focusness. He was very dangerous. He was scary. To
Mhm.
be
The
honest,
biggest
he was a
what the
scary
biggest
fighter.
what if is that rematch against De La Hoya. I still wish that they had a rematch, and I think Oscar would have beaten Tito in the rematch because he would have just boxed him. He wouldn't have gone toe to toe. He would have
And
he
that
would have he would have right his wrong in the first fight where he started running around like Mayweather in like I think in the 10th round or something. In the rematch, De La Hoya wouldn't have done that.
in that fight
But
between him
like
and
like
Trinidad.
Nelson said, but like Nelson said, Tito was he was almost like a machine. He was like once he had his program inputted in his brain, man, it was nothing. It was little you could do to sway him from his mission. And his mission was to rock him, sock him, knock your block off. That dude was a
No,
killer, man.
no, and people undermine. He was very technical, defensively. He was responsible. He didn't have the best chin because he can be, but that will only wake him up. Um, his conditioning was great. Had a great body shot. Had a stiff jab. Was hit. I mean, he was a real serious threat. And Oscar had caught him at the tail end of his 147-pound. Trinidad was a little bit dried up by then, and I believe in the second half of that fight, Trinidad snuck in a left hook. I think it was around the seventh round, and I seen Oscar's legs kind of shake a little bit. And after that shot, Oscar just he never he just started just circling, and that's what gave the fight away. It wasn't that Oscar won. It wasn't that Trinidad didn't lose because Oscar had gave up on the fight by that time. At the seventh round, when he felt that sneaky left hook, which was a hook he kind of threw